I mean, it's crazy. I know Kim doesn't like me to use this as a reference, but I'll use it anyways. Think about salmon, right? Farm salmon. What's feed conversion? 3 to 4 pounds per pound of fish raised.
The fish in, fish out is about 3, yes. The
Yeah,
FCR is about 1.5.
And what they say, wild salmon, how much?
10 to 1.
10 to 1. So think about that. Yeah, it's like it might take 2 or 3 pounds to get 1 pound of farm salmon. But a wild guy's out there running around, he's in everything in sight, and it takes 10. Well, I thought it was a little higher than that. Is it 10 to 1?
I think it's
Yeah.
possible.
Okay, is that what it is? Okay. It's still a lot higher. I mean, think about that. And that was one of the pillars of their argument, saying, oh my God, the white, only 1 pound of this takes 3 pounds of that. Well, there are good answers to that. But if people aren't interested, we need to get more people interested in it. That's one of the things we need to do. And that's the fight that we can have. Yes, in the back.
Sam, let me just, you'll hear a whole litany of objections, and I mean, disturbing ecosystems is one. The feed probably is the one you hear most
Aquatics is one that's big.
But again, these are all bogus arguments. If you look at the amount of fish meal that we have gotten from the ocean, it hasn't changed over the last 30 years. What has changed is how it's used. Instead of being used in chicken feed and cat feed and cattle feed, more of it has gone to aquaculture. But scientists in California have turned carnivore fish into omnivores so that half their diet is made up of plants.
More soy and stuff.
And when you think about disturbing ecosystems, there's a very important article that came out in Science in January that has shown that one of the greatest impacts on ecosystems is our overfishing and our destructive fishing. And we're destroying habitat by trawling, but we're taking so many fish out of the system that they are no longer able to play the roles they play in ecosystems. And for example, the biggest threat to coral reefs right now is not climate change, it's not warming, it's not ocean acidification, it's that we're fishing out the herbivorous fish that used to eat the algae off the coral reefs, and now the coral reefs are smothering to death. And this wild capture fishery, it's a wonderful way of life, and we don't want to lose it.
Sure.
But they can't meet the demand. These are the last large-scale hunter-gatherers on the planet. We don't go out and hunt mammoths with a bow and arrow wherever, and so we have to supplement it with responsible aquaculture. In California, I agree with Sam, California ought to set the example. But when we say, why not aquaculture? Why not aquaculture in Southern California? First of all, it's against the law to raise finfish in state waters. There's what's called a programmatic environmental review that was started 12 years ago, and it states in California law that until this process is completed, it is illegal to lease any land to fish farmers within state waters. I just got put on a committee in California because at the meeting, the Secretary of Natural Resources said that I made the statement that I could take 2 scientists, 2 regulators, and a chimpanzee and complete the PIR in a long weekend. So he said, that's why I'm on John Laird as the secretary, and that's why I'm on this committee. But it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And the problem in federal waters is there's no agency that can grant the permit. You have to go to NOAA, to the Army Corps of Engineers, to the Coast Guard, even to the Navy, and it's a tough process. And most people who go into this don't have deep pockets, and the state process has been, don't give a yes, don't give a no, just drag it out long enough and it'll go away.
A little anecdotal thing. We signed our lease in Texas, and we did a PR. We sent out a PR statement, and the gal from the Dallas Morning Star called me. She actually happened to be the editor of the LA Times magazine for about five years prior. And we were talking, and she said, "Do you realize that you can't serve? You can only serve Virginia oysters here." I said, "You gotta be kidding me! I had no idea that was the case in the state of Texas." And what I come to find out is that because California we'd have to put a poster the size of this, or would say, you might die if you ate a Aquatic or what's called a Gulf oyster, that they retaliated and said, well, we're just not going to allow any gigas or any Sycamores, Kumamotos, or any other type of oyster other than Virginicas, and Apalachicola is the Virginica. And that's how stupid things are sometimes. You know, they're just dumb. You know, what did I hear that old story? You know, it's like, gotta be kidding me.
See, one of the proposals that we had made, that Sam was involved in, was create an offshore enterprise zone. Pick the best site. Use the best science to pick the site. And if you want to come along and you want to lease some land to do some farming, you have to post a bond, you get a lease, and you're held to very high standards. If you don't meet those standards that would be verified by monitoring, we keep your money and throw you out. If you do meet them, though, you extend the lease in time and maybe in space. So you have all the protections that you can have, and we could become, this could become a significant industry.
Well, we've got great native products too. I mean, the California white sea bass, we can't sell enough of it. And it's tremendous. About the rock scallop, there's a blue hinge scallop, purple scallop is another great product. It'd be a great thing to be able to raise